enough people said give you a song. In all fairness, I told all of them, hold on. It was only 1 year, you deserve a chance. But it's 2 years now, grace period, past and gone. I had no problem with the pension, that was okay. But the money you didn't source on your own. So the credit for that, it had to split 2 ways. Since after that, we waiting for something major to be done. Not one capital project. Like your government on recess. But it's only pictures and videos. While the poor people belly hollow. The place looking bleak. Things not sweet on the street. But it's only paint and flowers. Like, and everywhere you pass, people balling, balling. All over the damn country, people balling, balling. Like all you deaf and listening, balling, balling. Everywhere you go, Papa, people balling, balling. The economy sick, no money on the street, but all you only planting flowers like. Public servants say they waiting still. Like regularizing them got stuck on a hill. The teachers and humanists tired fret. And the nurses say how they live to regret. The healthcare condition is overbearing. Basic medication the patients can't get. And the more people cry, all you're doing, nothing. The hospital suffering from a complete case of neglect. What about no more contract? And primary health care, that was vote talk. The medical staff could hardly function. It's like that all over the island. The place looking bleak. Things not sweet on the street, but it's only paint and flowers like. And everywhere you pass, people balling, balling. Everywhere you go, mama, people balling, balling. People can't feed their families. Balling, balling. All over the country, people balling, balling. People feeling sick. Hopelessness have them weak. But all you only planting flowers like. Oh, ladoy. Bambado, bambado. Mr. PM, the old people have a saying, who can't hear us feel? Listen, sir. Mr. PM, the country living in fear. Night and day bullets ringing out everywhere. Still waiting for you say something to we. Leader and head of security. Right now the people frightened and hopeless. No confidence in the leadership. From you to the commissioners, pointless. The people say something needs to be done and it must be quick. What about world is hurting, still can't believe. With all the empty campaign promises you give. Enough people with no place to rest their head. Where all they talk about housing, man, all your dread. On the Chinese houses, those families were waiting to have a place they could call their home. And with the sweet talk, they thought that better was coming. Was almost free, now to get it, they have to beg for a loan. What about affordable housing? People fed up at the mama guiding. Tell them about the Stony God project. Cause they say you're pretending like you forget. The place looking bleak, things not sweet on the street, but it's only paint and flowers like. And everywhere you pass, people balling, balling. Everywhere you go, Papa, people balling, balling. The country don't have no money, sir. Balling, balling. All over the place, Mama, people balling, balling. People on the street with no place to eat or sleep, but all you only planting flowers like.
Hey, higher. We'll take it to a different level. Tell the can stop all the makiki and go have on the country. For those who don't understand, everything is a gala, van is gala, and more gala. Be a gala in Miami, also New York City, gala in Toronto, even London also is gala, and more gala. But while they dining, partying, and they having fun, some people don't know where the next meal coming from. People dying while they fetting, and the authority don't care nothing. Everything is gala. We had the best prime minister. Everything is gala. They even praising his sleepers. But I say I must confess, nowadays I cannot rest. I'm suffering with gala stress. Hey, do that, yeah. Hit it up. Hey, hey, hey. I tell you, big increase in gun crime, still EPM going online. Well, this is the nation cry. He don't care who live or die, but gala, and more gala. People panic, they afraid to sleep. Country lacking leadership. Some searching for answer. Not one word to the media, but gala, and more gala. But while they dining, partying, and they having fun, we shooting one another with one. People dying while they fetting, and to the authority that's nothing. Everything is gala. We are the best prime minister. If to hear them gala, they even praising his sleepers. But I say I must confess, nowadays I'm afraid to rest. I suffering with gala stress. Poor people frightened, afraid to talk. PA meeting with knife and fork. Dressing fancy clothing, while they rather some jamming in gala and more gala. Independent man, big fanfare. Drone flying everywhere. They have no discipline. They stop roadside vending for gala authority, that's nothing. Everything is gala. We had the best prime minister. If you hear them gala, they even praising his sleepers. But I say I must confess, nowadays I cannot rest. I suffering with gala stress. Hey, 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 Bobilin. Hey, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm appealing to you to come home and work with your people. Hey!
My partner Big J does say, I want to fall. Me, I want to fall. I want to stand up for my rights. Everything appeared so easy for the new PM in the city. I say this man is a magician with his golden pen in his hand. See me waiting for miracles, but all I get in is basket and brambles with lawyer tactics so he could deceive. Cause we so gullible and so naive. By the stroke of a pen, massive increase in salaries. They were broke, so no more money worry. By the stroke of a pen, a whole family on the breadline. A special need child, he was only 9. By the stroke of a pen, embezzlement in lotto, you save a man to make laco. By the stroke of a pen, the boss flies in helicopter to see kayaks wet in rainwater. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke, but somehow that pen catch a stroke. This man can be serious, like he out to papi show us. Running a country is no game. It's not about likes and fame. You promise sun, wind and rain. What on earth you won't promise again? In the same breath you're changing your mind. No paper to be signed. By the stroke of a pen, free money in GDP, but you must be in certain category. By the stroke of a pen, Chinese houses were snatched away. 70,000 they cannot pay. By the stroke of a pen, planting only black pepper, forget coconut, meg and banana. By the stroke of a pen, make me an ambassador to Dubai, China or Russia. What happened to the damn pen? I don't know. Maybe the ink just stopped flow. If you take back on your promises, with your eloquence come say that with ease. People will certainly understand. Don't afraid to be a man. The country has never been hard so. Use the pen, let some money go. You said we deserve a lot of money. Was that election gimmickry? By the stroke of a pen, bring me on the plane with you. Foreign minister can help you. By the stroke of a pen, kayaks running from burial. You shut down the houses that was cruel. By the stroke of a pen, you promised our healthcare will be the best in the hemisphere. By the stroke of a pen, but infant mortality keep hurting family. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke, but somehow that damn pen catch a stroke. They say today's walk on a boat bridge cost 90,000. I wonder in whose hands that money gone. 200 houses each at 50 grand. That can never be 15 million. I wonder in whose hands the 5 million gone. Supplementary budget Holy pa.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, those of you listening North America, South America, Central America, who are listening over in Africa, those of you in Europe, Asia, wherever you're listening, even in the International Space Station, or in one of those submarines going around the Caribbean, we say a special good night to each and every one of you.
Alleged corruption.
It is a Thursday night,
In LA.
our final program for this week,
Instigate.
and our final program till after the carnival season, yeah? Yes, indeed, folks. And from the beginning, you can call in at any time, 4407377. I don't know why the equipment decide tonight he want to give me problems. Eh? Yeah, that's why to start. Yeah, he's decided giving problems tonight. Don't know what's up with it. All the computers are acting funny. Let me say good night to the geezer. Good night to you, Mr. Handsome. I know both of you are locked in already. Fergie, good night to you. Camille Teresa Scott, I know you're locked in. Good night to you, my dear.
Many things I will have to fix.
And let me say a good night and a congratulations to Helen Marie and Associates.
Because I'm fed up reading the media about an
So you had a first place in the King competition in the junior, the junior parade of the bands and so your King, I think, came first.
along the side of the
I know that you got a second overall. I believe you got second with your Queen.
Oh God,
So I want to say a special good night to Helen Marie, yeah?
dance balling with the mouth closed. The higher the monkey climb is more we expose. My people balling with the mouth closed.
And you know, as we head into the carnival season, just want to remind everyone to be careful out there, eh?
Balling with the mouth
Already seen some kind of reckless behaviors out there.
up some doors.
You got to be careful.
Health food prices gone up so fast. Transformation in we mass. The people balling anywhere you pass. Transformation in we
I think we need to remember as well, it's not just about you. It's about everybody else. For instance, you might be in a particular community and yeah, it's carnival time, so you think you could just play music up until 2, 3, 4 anymore. No, don't do that. Yeah, if it's an area that is for that kind of thing, but in the community, remember there are people that have to go to work in the morning and so, yeah? So we, even though it's carnival time, we still have to have consideration for those around us. Like I've been seeing it happening to some people, they've been having to go through that where they can't get a proper night's sleep and then next morning, same way they have to get up to go to work and so they're going to work tired, you know, and then you're endangering them and yourself as well, because when they're tired and they're trying to drive and they're falling asleep on themselves, might be you or a family member they run into. Yeah, so try to have some consideration for who is around you. Sometimes we don't see the correlation between what we are doing, how it affects other people, and how it affects those other people may come back and affect us. And we have to look at that, yeah?
oh God,
And as I always say to the young men, the young ladies, well, everybody, young men, young ladies, old men, middle-aged people, everyone, be careful who you eat and drink from, yeah?
fix. So I go fix up them old
There are people with malintent. They're finding everything about how to do certain things on the internet now.
about an ex-prisoner escape. And I go fix up
Various sites telling them what to do and so on. And there are people with malintent out there.
offenders put along the side of the road and leave them.
You don't want to be a young man waking up the next morning. You don't know how you reach home. You don't know anything or how you reach where you are. And you have certain parts of your body paining you and wondering what happened, yeah? I'm sure, fellas, all of you listening, I'm sure none of you want to go through a situation like that, eh?
My people balling with them up
And you know there are people out there that would do that, eh? Nice, yeah. There are people out there that would do that.
blues. My people balling with them out close. Mr. PM, please open up some doors. Why the hell food prices gone up so fast? Transformation in we mass. The people balling anywhere you pass. Transformation.
Why someone is telling me they're not seeing me properly, I have no idea why that is so. Only one person telling me that. Are you all seeing me properly? Yeah? Seeing one person telling me that. I'm not seeing anybody else saying that. So it may be their settings on their device that they have to check out. So yeah, someone is saying Helen's mass band really looked wonderful. Her kids were amazing. Yeah, because I know when they were speaking about so some of the children were dressed. That was probably the only complaint I heard about the children's carnival frolic, was how some of the children were dressed, the kind of costumes they had. Some of the children, I know they wasn't talking about Ellen Marie, that is for sure, yeah?
And make sure that you treat them right.
Year after year, I see her costume. She's been consistent. She's been doing this for many, many, many years. I know sometimes she even gets the children from the homes. Yeah, they get the opportunity to play with her and so on for the carnival season and things like that. So she always attires the children properly when they're going out there. Well, everybody else seeing me. Okay, one person is saying I'm looking dark. I think might be the setting on some of you all. Yeah.
They dance balling with them all close. Be careful with the tons when you're picking rows. Why the hell you?
I see a second person saying dark, somebody saying okay, somebody saying thing. Let me try and fix one thing here then. Yeah, let me see if I can get one thing fixed here. Yeah, I don't know why I want to see the ugly face properly. Why I want to see the ugly face properly for.
Fix. So I go fix up them old police station.
Let me say a special good night to Zola, Empress Zola.
In the media.
I know you're out there somewhere in Europe. I forget which country you're in, if you're in Switzerland or Sweden or wherever.
I says that must be.
As the only person playing a jab whole year out there.
That's good along.
I'm sure whole jab outfit. She can't put on the old oil and thing, but she have she outfit out there.
With them out.
So Empress Zola, good night to you.
Oh God, baby, Jesus is of the blood.
Let me see if I can fix the screen.
They dance balling with them all close. Higher the monkey climb is more we expose. My people balling with them all close. Oh God, and this is of the blues. My people balling with them all close. Mr. PM, please open up some doors. Why the hell food prices gone up so fast? Transformation in we mass. The people balling anyway you pass. Transformation in we mass. You only looking out for the upper class. Transformation in we mass. You don't care if the poor ones are to eat grass. Transformation in we mass. Hey.
Yeah, not much I can do in relation to that. So I have to leave it as is, yeah? Chris London, good night to you. See Alcy Peters, Andrew Alexander, Charmaine Ragbasing, Sharon Thomas, yeah. Michelle Alexander, good night to you. Ron Julian, yeah. Jacinta Livingston, good night to you as well. As I said, folks, the phone lines are open. Dennis Donaldson and Andrews.
I just say yes.
Moms Samuel.
Francis Hotel making last suggest. But then I remember.
Art Will I Am, Kathleen Knights. I see Sherma Alexander, Anne-Marie Grant, Jefferson Hagley, Joan Henry, Monica Jeremiah, Jackie Raymond.
But just remember the local workers and make sure that you treat them right.
And Mr. Adrian Watts, thank you. I see you have made your donation using that means.
And baby Jesus.
Maud Martin, Shoshan, John Carroll Belfon, yeah. Alan Jones, good night to you. Good night to Michelle and Zoe as well.
My people balling.
Gillian Williams, Roslyn Jones, MJ and MF.
Stop the blues.
Fergie, good night to you.
They dance balling.
Cynthia Bartholomew, Gillian Noel, yeah.
Be careful with the tons.
Kathleen Ledlow, yeah, good night to you. Merle Patrick, Cindy Thomas, good night. Faithlin Hallie Douglas, Carib Spice, Alban Harris, good night to you. Ranks Claude, good night to all of you. Faithlin Hallie Douglas, good night, yeah.
Inducted to glass. Transformation in we mass. When
And Dalton Strand, Vanessa Lalji, good night to both of you.
Transformation in we mass. Hey.
Gavin, good night. Clive, good night to you. Jakim, Moko, and hey, Moko Pen, good night to you. Clive, good night, right? Nice. Good. I tell you good night already. Cedro, yeah.
Politics. You say hush me mouth cause all talk is cheap.
I'm still fighting up here because one or two things just not going as the way they're supposed to go tonight, yeah?
I would never take me death like a sheep. Was up in Granville, Sanita came right.
I don't know if it's the camera. I don't know what it is doing that tonight, yeah.
The foundation, they take it back. And how we wish he could have take back his vote. Cause that is one thing he regret. Because apart from all those gallant feds, PSC they do nothing yet. Canadians balling with them mouth closed. Oh God, baby, Jesus is up the blows. You supporters balling with them mouth closed. But the higher the monkey climb is more he exposed. My people balling with them mouth closed. Oh God, and this is up the blows. Canadians balling with them mouth closed. What we going through only heaven knows. Why you riding wrong on such a high horse? Transformation in we mass. And the big renters don't care what it costs. Transformation in we mass. If you love this song, well raise up your glass.
Yeah, I think that should be much better now, yeah.
One is
I
this.
think we've got it, yeah?
Transformation in we mass.
Anyway, as I say, it's the least important to know. It's to hear from you all. We're heading into the carnival season. We want to encourage folks, number one, the drinking and driving. Yeah, because vehicles not only running off the road or running into other vehicles, they're running into people's property as well, into people's home where they lie down sleeping. So we have to look out for that particular one. And I know the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force, they will be out in their numbers, making sure that they're checking on, making sure all of these things are taken care of. So let me say a special good night to the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force, yeah?
Of Butch Grove, a champion rise, with one thing in mind, to improve people's lives.
And you know, again, under the theme, when your neighbor house is on fire, wet your own. Folks, we've seen what has happened in Guyana. I know some people may not have wanted to touch that. We've seen what has happened in Guyana. And you know, for a lot of folks, after they saw what had happened in Guyana, a lot of folks look at it and they say, boy, you know, what are the possibilities? Not, you don't hope, you pray that we're not that level, that kind of thing. You don't have a boat 84 years old running. I could tell you we have some that are 60-something years old that are running. I could tell you that for a fact. But we don't have boats that are 80-something years. And you have to ask yourselves, the people of Carriacou, what measures are taken to make sure that the vessels that are traveling between Grenada and Carriacou, that they are being properly loaded, that the loads that they are taking, that is what they're rated for. We have to ask ourselves those questions, because one thing, we see what has happened. We don't want to end up, we pray we never have to, but we don't want to end up in a similar situation. So we've seen what happened down there. We have to ask ourselves now, if some of the same missteps, some of the same errors that were made in Guyana are being made in Grenada. But we must remember as well that while in Guyana, you had a publicly funded, publicly run transportation service via vessel between different locations. In the Grenada context, just as the bus system, it is privately owned. But we need to ask ourselves, what has the Port Authority been doing to ensure our safety out there when we go out on one of these vessels? Yeah? that if a similar mishap, and again we pray and we hope that nothing like that ever happens in Grenada's waters, but again, neighbor house on fire, you better fetch water. Yeah? In the Grenada context, for instance, is there any measurement being taken of the goods being loaded on these vessels? Ask yourself that. You see any scale there? You see any equipment that is being used to load that is measuring the weight of what is being loaded onto the vessels? Is anyone taking from the port authority? Is anyone keeping track of that? Or is it whenever the captain feel, yeah, we could roll with that they just take it and they go with that? What is being done to ensure that the staff, because I know one of the problems that they have in Guyana right now is that they have charged the staff. I have my own issues with regards to what is taking place with the staff, but they have charged the staff with murder, actually. Yeah, which is a premeditated something, so I don't understand yet. I mean, these guys had to say that they was planning to kill these people. Anyway, they go work this stuff out. But in our context, what have we been doing to make sure that something like that don't take place here? Over that weekend, there were 2 incidents, you know. There was one in Guyana and there was one in St. Lucia. In St. Lucia, 4 people died. Yeah, one boat was running in the night, apparently without lights, and another one running, drinking alcohol and all sorts of things, and the 2 boats slammed into each other. And 2 young ladies and I believe 2 young men died. They went under, they got back the bodies of all, but they went under the water out in Canaries. That's on the west coast of St. Lucia. And again, we do send our condolences to the families of those who have lost their loved ones in that incident, in the same way that we send our condolences to the people of Guyana on the massive loss that they have just gone through. We know that we have some, what can be pretty rough waters between Grenada and Carriacou at times. Pretty rough. Tell all you, I don't like boat. I just take it, I just go, I just bite my tongue and go. I don't like boat. Yeah? But we have that situation that has happened in Guyana. And we must be asking ourselves those questions. And these are important questions to be asking. What is our government doing? What is being done in Grenada? Because I think that should be a wake-up call to all other countries in the region. To Trinidad with their ferry between Trinidad and Tobago. They have a ferry service that's running there. I know they have a new vessel that they just put onto it. I think it's Sunday or Monday. They got a new vessel that they put onto that system. They must still, even though those vessels are specially designed for the open water and all this kind of thing, they still need to be checking on different aspects of what failed in Guyana and making sure that that doesn't replicate itself in their country. And whether it's Barbados, I don't know if Barbados has a ferry service. I honestly don't know. I know that definitely St. Vincent has one. Yeah, between St. Vincent and the Grenadine Islands, they do have ferries that go there. Have they decided to take a look? Or is it that the OECS can take a collective look? All of us come together and set forth certain mechanisms to protect, because eventually, remember, there's also the intention of an inter-island ferry that has been spoken about for many years. And it seems to be getting closer. I think Trinidad has said they're willing to use one of the vessels that they have for the inter-island ferry. And if that is so, then the infrastructure and the mechanisms in each country, including Grenada, has to be put in place. It can't just be roll on, roll off. It has to be weigh, then roll on, and then roll off. Not just roll on and roll off. You just drive off, truck going on with a bunch of material. You don't know the weight of the material with the weight of the truck, and you just pack things until you find your door space, and then you hit the open water. No, we cannot continue in that way. Yeah? There are things that definitely must change. Your neighbor house, you see your neighbor house not just on fire, you see it burned down and people dead. So you have to wet yours. But as usual, our government is too busy trying to dazzle us with gubar. They're too busy trying to give the impression that they're working and they're working hard and they're doing this and they're doing that and so on. While those of us are still waiting to find one project that they have initiated, that they have started, that wasn't already in train by the new National Party that they just had to take and go ahead with. Be it the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, where some of you all didn't know that was a new National Party. All they thought was, oh, so some of you all thought was Deacon Mitchell came in and he said, hey, St. David's Catholic Secondary School, I go rebuild it. And that he went and he secured land to build it and he get money to build it. And so all you think is, so? No, that is not the case. We will come back to that in a while. Yeah, in fact, we could come to it now. If all we could come to it now and all. Because that is actually not the case. And I see someone, somebody want to explain? Hey, now before I reach on that day, let me, hey, man, I connected with you there one time. Yeah, I connected with you one time, man. Because that one, I've been looking at the fallout. I've been looking at all different aspects of that, and it's sad. We have a caller online with me tonight. Hello, good night.
I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness.
We don't want to be crying with what we see happening in Guyana. That is one thing I could tell you. We don't want to be crying with anything like that.
Yes, so, I'm very much concerned of the way in which our ferries operate between Grenada Carriacou via Pitimatnik.
Mm-hmm.
I had the opportunity to captain the Carriacou Islander, and the Carriacou Islander was owned by some British people, Malcolm and Rosamanda Cameron. So I run that boat for at least about a 10-year period, and we are specialized in marine biology. The boat had a 20-footer glass in the middle. And when that glass is laid down on the water, you discovered the undersea world.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we will get tourists from the different hotels in Grenada. I remember our favorite hotel was Sensation. We used to deal with Sensation Tour, Johanna, in the early days.
Oh, I remember Sensation
But the thing is
Tours, yeah. They used to be based in Lamaki.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Too much a man is you, Sheldon Scott. Yes, Sensation Tours.
Wrong long. Eh?
Say, Sheldon, you there here long, man? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you know. And we have that young lady there that is Johanna that used to send up the tourists for us by plane, and then we'll give them a tour with the bus, and then we'll take them to the different islands like Frigate, White Island, Sandy Island, the Tobago Keys, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll bring them to see the pristine reef. And I mean, below there, it's real beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a lot of safety precaution. Because, for example, before any one of these passengers will board the boat, we make sure that they had life jackets. We make sure, because the water could be very, very much messy around, have life jacket. But what I discovered, sometimes you board the Osprey shuttle to go to Carriacou, and then you have passengers on the downstairs and you have passengers on the upstairs. But before the Osprey shuttle leave the port, they normally make an announcement.
Yes, they do.
With all the precautionary measures.
They
told you the time that they leave, that the time they will be leaving now and the time that they will be reaching in Carriacou, and they told you where your life jacket are, or the life belt or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you, please, to the lower deck, you will find eats and drinks and enjoy your trip to Carriacou. But when you look at where the safety belts are, like the life jacket and such forth, if something have to happen on one of these boats, the frike alone would not allow anybody to unfasten those things the way that it is. Very complicated. Very, very complicated. So you have passengers on board and you tell them where the safety equipment are, but none of them even know what it look like, and no training session to educate people.
But
We
don't
have a lot
they-
of technology these days.
They had a video
know?
they used to play. I don't know if they still play it, because
Well,
when I go on the
yeah,
boat
well,
now,
that is not.
when I go on the boat
Yeah.
now, I just go upstairs, so I can't tell you what the video.
Yeah,
say
but they
about
don't have
this.
that. At the early, they shows you. You understand? And I think that is something that they basically should really bring back, because I believe that we take for granted between from Grenada to Caracas, that is about 45 miles. And I think that we take for granted that we have smooth, nice water. You understand? Except when Kikanjini is very furious, then they tell you the amount of miles you have to keep on. But I believe because of the nice pristine water we have between leaving Grenada to go to Carriacou, we may take it for granted that no mishap cannot happen there, but it could. But if you look for a typical example, the Coast Guard.
A freak wave could always come up.
Exactly, because you never know. I mean, I have experience in captaining, and we never know. Because, for example, the Coast Guard, the Grenada Coast Guard, no matter what errand they on, if the Coast Guard have to leave Chubloa, where the base is, to come to the main wharf in St. George's, each and every one of the workers, the sailors on that boat, they must have a life vest on them. They must have that on them. Security measures. And I know over the years, Sheldon Scott, over the years, we have a lot of boats that, even from Carriacou, that goes to Trinidad and bring in general cargo. And many of these boats are overloaded and sunk.
I remember. a few
We have
of
a lot
them.
of evidence to prove. I remember my good friend Macaulay. Up to now, we never found that boat whatsoever at all.
I remember.
They
a few.
overload. So, yeah, come again?
I remember a few of them. I remember
Yeah,
one. I
you
can't
know,
remember if
and-
it was 99 or 95, because it was coming up with election stuff, and that boat went down.
Exactly.
I remember a few of
That
them.
boat went
yeah.
down. And most of the time, the boat goes down is because they overload or the boat is unseaworthy. You understand? The situation as it relates to Guyana, yes, they lay charges to the passengers, to the captain and some of the other mate. But the whole thing about it, the boat of itself was not a private boat. The boat was owned and run by the government of Guyana. And then that boat been experiencing problem for a long period of time. But the whole thing about it, I'm telling you plain out, the captain will also have to bear some responsibility, because captain, if you know that the boat is a government boat and you are paid to run the boat, and you realize that something is not right with the boat, something is not right, brother,
Yeah.
you have a right to tell management, hey, listen very carefully, as the captain, I would not go out there with that boat, because that is the problem that boat faces.
Yeah, he can't absolve himself. He cannot absolve the rest
Come
of the
again?
crew. He can't absolve himself of responsibility here, because
No,
he was the
definitely.
one. He saw how it load. He saw what was taking place. and
Exactly.
he left the port that way. He left the port that way.
Exactly.
So he can't absolve
So the
himself
whole-
of responsibility. Totally.
No, you cannot. Because the whole thing about it, outside there, brother, when you are captain, every passenger is on your shoulder. Every luggage and on the boat is on your shoulder. And once you feel to yourself, hey, listen very carefully, what I am seeing here, I am not going to put the people life at risk. But I say this to say that I think your conversation tonight, as it relates to, to safety at sea, don't be surprised that those things could happen right in our mouth here. We have to be careful. And I could remember a couple years ago when I was living in Carriacou and I was a captain of the Carriacou Islander. There was a guy in Carriacou who used to bring down school children from Petit Matnik to take the bus to go to secondary school. And in this boat was the guy name was Teacher. I don't know if you remember Teacher. Teacher had at lunch, and Teacher used to bring down children from Petit Matnik, land them over at Windward to take the bus to go to school in secondary and Bishop's College. And let me tell you something. while the school children was on the boat, when teacher reached at least about 20 feet from the windward jetty, the boat take a plunge, the mud gone down with children on board. And a lot of windward people at Carriacou, people could hear me, and they could remember when that boat sunk right in the mouth of the jetty. There was no children on board that had a life jacket. We got to be very careful. I know you have guys who run their private taxi boat, Carriacou, Grenada, and then you's going to one of the small islands with tourists or passengers, and you have the life jacket under your seat, but you're not putting it on the passengers. So, Sheldon, your conversation as it relates to, to what happened there, I believe we need to take a holistic approach. We need to look at all the boat that is plighting the route, whether they overload the passengers. I'm not saying they do, but I think that Port Authority have to look at that. The amount of cargo you take to go up, I think the time have to come when the Port Authority will have to go over. Yes, you give clearance to a boat to go to Carriacou, but you, the management of the Port Authority, must find yourself over by Nutmeg area to see how low the watermark are. If they pass that watermark, if to see the amount of people that the Osprey have, if they take the right amount.
Because now
don't take it for granted. It could happen to us.
But in the last year, and luckily it was not, they were not boats that had passengers as far as we know on them. We've had two boats that are now, they out of service. You have the one that's just out of St. Mark there, that apparently it left the port overloaded. And that is what caused what happened to it to happen. Luckily, it was not a passenger boat, but it was carrying cargo. It seemed to have been overloaded, and that is what ended up happening with it there. It got run aground
exactly,
there.
You know.
And we have, you're flying into Grenada now and looking at the little Desireen out on the rocks out there. I don't know what is the situation. What caused
nobody
that
knows.
To end up there,
you know.
But you have, is it Little Desireen? Which one is it? No, it's not Little Desireen. What's it called, that one again?
I think it's Little Desireen, you know.
That's what they call it. Yeah, but that one, it's out there, out at the edge of the runway, actually.
Yes.
On
the
rocks there. Yeah, so we know that we do have boats that ply going up, especially at different times of year. Like when there's Carriacou Carnival, you realize you're seeing some boats going up heavily loaded.
Right.
Heavily loaded.
And this is my concern because listen.
I'm not calling name of which boats. All I go say is that I see some boats
exactly
going up heavily loaded, and I'm sure they didn't have enough life jackets and RAF or whatever
to
for
sustain
they
the
have
amount
on
of
board.
people that is on board. And let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something. I need people to know. Do not listen. There is two pieces of water that we have as it relates to seawater. Don't underestimate Kikanjini whenever it is rough. And there is a channel between Bekwe and St. Vincent. Don't underestimate that middle channel there. Listen, the last time I
one visitor passer, it's Dolly C. That's the one that's out there. Dolly
C.
Dolly C.
Yeah.
Dolly C. That's
Dolly
the one
C.
there.
I think
Desireen's the one that Dolly C. I think Desireen's the one that burned the other day.
What burned the other day, and Dolly C is the one. Yeah, you know. And then here, Dolly C was a very famous boat, and then we lose a good boat. You understand? And what we have to realize again, most of the time, the overload coming because of greed. Because the more cargo you have on board is the more money you make. And according to you, luckily, it was not a passenger boat. But we have a lot of boats that are not seaworthy. I could remember standing up, I think it was last year, Carnival, you know. And I stood in St. George's and see two particular boats left for Carriacou. And I am telling you, I was scared to see the amount of people that was on board. Do you think that you have life jacket or RAF to sustain these people? And if a mishap take place outside it, the fear alone kills you because people can focus on the dance water in a branch, Idoa branch. You know, so Sheldon, I believe you bringing up that I think that Port Authority must take a holistic approach. Look at the boat that we are, you understand, you know that even coming in from Trinidad that maybe this boat may not be boat belongs to Grenada. And even those that we have taken, the route from Grenada to Carriacou, I think that they need to really, really heavily look into that, because what happened in St. Lucia and Guyana right there, do not underestimate the same thing. God forbid could happen here. Have a pleasant night,
Because,
children.
Pastor, I looked at it, and when
Yeah.
I saw it, one of the things that went
Yeah.
to my mind was a particular trip I made recently. And I was
Yeah.
saying, if something similar had happened, and I was traveling with my little son, and I'm saying if something
Yes.
similar happened, how would I have been able to handle
Man,
that
I'm telling you.
that situation? Because from what they're telling you, they said the boat basically went down in less than 10 minutes. It just
Yeah,
got
yeah,
hit, and
and
by the time
because
they
the
know
amount
what
of
happened,
weight you have.
it was down. It was
Yeah.
it just went down.
Yeah, because the amount of weight that push it down. And sometimes some people, maybe when they boat left, some people may gone to a little rest. Most people, when they on boat, some of them, they just relax. Some of them take a deep sleep,
Well,
and,
it was
children,
said-
before I end it, I
It was
could
said a lot of them were sleeping all over the floor and so on, and they have hammocks.
Exactly.
Well, with Guyana and
Exactly.
Trinidad, they tend to use a hammock, and they had hammocks.
Oh,
So a
boy.
lot of folks.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
one guy speaking said he
God,
was
you
actually
just sleep,
sleeping
man.
in the hammock.
Yeah.
He felt the boat. He heard a noise and he felt
Oh,
the boat
boy.
move, and next thing he knew, he was in the water.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. One woman lost 7 children,
Yeah.
One woman lost 7 children on that boat there. You understand?
So
I could remember a couple of years ago while I was living in Carriacou, the Pentecostal church normally go over to P.T. Matnick to hold crusade. Or that day in question, I would not be able to go. So I said to Brother Mike, my very good friend, I guess that he's listening to me, himself from Brother Bernard, I said, let me tell all this something. I have 2 children that will be going to P.T. Matnick on that excursion for the crusade. I have 2 life vests here. I said, I am giving my children the 2 life vests. I said, Brother Bernard and Brother Mike, make sure when the bus come to pick up my children for P.T. Matnick, bottle my 2 children, Samuel and Cassandra, bottle them with the 2 life jacket before they go on the bus. Well, to be Brother B, it was like a joke. Well, we must have faith. Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. My wife just correct me on the boat. I said, please do me a favor. Bottle my 2 children. Bottle them up. Because by right, the church is gone up there, and everybody's supposed to have a life vest, because I don't think that boat had it. Well, they make a little laugh because they think that I was
Well,
too
I'll
over,
tell you-
but that's my
by
children,
telling
bro.
you, Pastor,
and they bottle them.
I have traveled between Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the night before on a speedboat, and I don't
Yeah.
think it had any vests. I'm pretty sure.
What?
I am pretty sure there was not a single vest on that boat. All we know is we
And that
jumped
is
the
a
boat
di-
in windward and speed. Dark night, you're barely seeing anything. Dark night between Carriacou and Petit Martinique, no vest inside.
And the whole thing about it at night, well, listen, to be honest, these guys and them that really ply that route at night, brother, and these boats hardly touch the water,
Yeah.
it flicking.
Yeah.
That thing just even.
My
So
back,
I believe
my
Sheldon
back,
that
my back remembers.
yes. Yes. So I believe that you continue on that. And as I say, we cannot say it cannot happen to us, but I believe that we must Port Authority must take some precautionary measure to really have a look, because sometimes I there in the carnage and I saw some cargo boat leaving for Carriacou, and when I look at the load, he's like the edge touching water. So we got to be very careful as it relates to that. Yes?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So you have a blessed night, Sheldon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you very
Nice.
much,
Great.
Pastor.
Nice. Yes, sir. All right. Bye-bye.
Right.
Nice.
And I'll tell you all as well, and we want to thank Pastor for his input tonight on that particular issue. And I'll tell you all something as well. I am not placing the responsibility fully on the boat owners alone. Yes, they provide a service. They are providing a service to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, even Trinidad and Tobago, even the Grenadine Islands. They are providing a service to all these islands that without them would not exist, because government has not gotten into that particular area in Grenada. No government ever since. They have not gotten into that particular area. these vessels are privately owned and so on. But in order to operate, and it goes way past, I mean, we've been speaking here about the boats that ply their trade between Grenada and Carriacou. And we're not saying anything about the party boats that go out as well. Yes, I know they usually keep count. I know for the Ramon, I can tell you, and so on. I've never been on the Ecstasy, so but knowing Steve, I expect that Steve would be doing the same thing. But I know they usually have the clicker and they're checking how many people going on board and they give a briefing and that sort of thing. But I think the time is now for us to have a review of all these things. There'll be many cruises going out with a couple hundred people at a time during the week, next week, and the following week. As we go deeper into the carnival season, maybe even starting tonight, it might even have tonight going out that I don't know about because I don't follow up on them thing again. But we know that especially during the week, next week, and the following week, there'll be many cruises going out to the various party boats and so on. And it may be a good time to review the operations of these vessels going out there and the situation with these vessels going out there. Yeah? Because what we don't want a repeat or our version of what we have seen happen out there in St. Lucia or down there in Guyana. We do not want a repeat of that here. Yeah? After Hurricane Beryl, there were some things that I saw that had me a bit scared. I saw some vessels going up there. You see some trucks lining up and just going and drop. Sometimes the truck going onto the boat and that kind of thing. And there was no measurement taking place there. It's just if it could fit. We have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello. We have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello. This person. Caller, you got to call back because whatever you're thinking there, it wasn't coming through properly. 440737 said, give us a call back. Yeah. So we have to look at that. I saw some things after Hurricane Beryl telling you. Even the government itself chartered a particular vessel to go up to Carriacou. And when you see people on the vessel, so on the vessel, how that vessel was hanging low, going up to Carriacou. And I'm pretty sure they didn't have life vests there for everybody that was on that boat. You have to recognize that something has to take place and there needs to be some sort of updating of whatever is in place. Yeah, there needs to be some updating on whatever is in place. I've seen vessels being loaded and no measurement. No, I'm not saying that we don't have good captains. We have some good captain, but everybody could make a mistake, you know. We have some captains there that could captain a boat any part of the world. They could probably even go and deal with them ice hunting up in the north or in the deep south. But even the best does make mistake at times. Let us help them not to make. Let's make the likelihood of them making a mistake less by making sure that the Port Authority, the Customs Department, whoever puts in place whatever mechanisms it is to protect our lovely people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, to protect them and ensure that they know once they're going on that vessel that all that can be done to keep them safe has been done. Can everybody say that right now? Can everybody say that right now? Yeah? I know there are different boats that are going Carriacou, not just the Osprey Express, the other boats as well. They usually give a little, yes, you're traveling, this is that, and they give a little update and so on. Most people don't even pay attention to it. Believe me, I could be paying real attention to it from now on. Again, I don't like boat, but I have to take them. So I'll be paying real attention to it again. But this is all in consideration of our people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Even just recently, remember, there was the play that was on about the situation with the Island Queen, where there were many families in Grenada who went through what the people of Guyana. Yes, we had our version. We had a boat that went, in this case, nobody got back anybody to be able to bury. Nobody got back anything. So there was that boat, the Island Queen, that went out there. For the younger people that may not know about the Island Queen, that went out and basically disappeared. Nobody was ever found from that boat. No one was ever found. Nothing from that boat has ever been recovered as far as I know to this day. And they had planes come up from Trinidad and all over St. Lucia and so were flying around. And that was during the World War II period, if I remember correctly, during the period of World War II. And that vessel disappeared. Many people do not know about this sort of thing. So people just take chance and do all kind of wild thing out there. There are people that don't even know about the bomb that went off in Windward, you know. There's another story for another night. But there was a bomb that went off in Windward. That would have been towards the end of World War II that killed a lot of people. Yeah, a mine, one of the sea mines, had broken loose and floated onto the beach in Carriacou, in Windward, and some people went with chisel and thing trying to open it. The thought was a chis with food stuff and different thing. Take some chisel and thing or pickaxe or whatever, trying to break it, and it exploded, level everything right around it, kill some people. Much people do not know of those things. Yeah, but we must remember our history. But not just remember it, we must learn from it as well. So the carnival season is coming. We have a load of boat going out with a load of people. We have people coming down from Carriacou. We have people who will be going up for regatta and so on. And then those that come down had to go back up. So, you know. Yeah, so we want to make sure that everybody is safe. We don't want to repeat. That spirit that passing, let it pass us by. We put in the blood of the lamb on we door. Let it pass us by. We're doing what needs to be done so that Grenada will continue to be a safe place. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. Let's go to the phone lines again. Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night. Earlier on today, I travel River Road. I see the pulling out a car from the river in River Road.
Wow.
You go down the river there.
So
I can tell you what I see. All
right, my brother. And that is something, I mean, them recommenders be making money, but they might not be the only ones making money. Brother Lacroix and Brother Bailey and Brother Wayne and them might be making money too. We ain't begrudging them the money, but let it be by natural causes, this kind of thing. Nah. Be careful on the roads out there. Yeah, be careful. You have a lot of people that feel they could make every fet. Yeah, they want to try and make every fet. No, you have to rest. It's a human body. It does break down at a point in time. You can't make everything. I used to try it, I used to try this nonsense too. Yeah, and then I learned, no, you have to rest. If you miss something, you miss it. You're alive, you might get it next year. If you had to miss it, miss it. Yeah? 440-7377. Good night to you, Donna. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Yeah, 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. But a little while ago, let me just change gears for a little while. A little while ago, I was mentioning because, and I'm only doing this to just explain something here. There is this constant thing by some of the people who are supporters of the NDC, and I say some because not all of them behave like that. Some of the people who are supporters of the NDC, where they give the impression that certain things were never even considered by the New National Party and they come in and they're doing it. And one of those is the St. David Catholic Secondary School. And there's a long story behind that. Because on coming into office, the NNP had to move fast to try and fix the place in the first place, the existing St. David's Catholic Secondary School. Then negotiate with the church because as far as I know, that school is one of the only schools that are directly managed by the Catholic Church, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the St. David's Catholic Secondary School is one of the only schools. My brother, message me and tell me if I'm right. That is directly managed by the Catholic Church. Yeah, so you couldn't just move in and do what you want and all kind of thing like that. So the New National Party had the discussions with them regarding the school, the present school, open to the sea blast, all kind of thing, which kept rotting out the iron, and so you saw slabs falling, all different things like that. So the NNP said, we are going to repair the existing school, but we're also going to have to move it and build in a different location. You're going to have to rebuild a school in a different location. So when I was taking a look at the 2020 budget, I know there was a mention of it in the 2020 budget.
And in addition to the recurrent expenditure on the education budget, one look at what is invested in education, one has to look at the capital area where we're building facilities for the education and the improvement of education in our country. Several schools are earmarked to benefit from this rehabilitation and upgrading of the physical infrastructure. And these include among others, Bishop's College, Grenada SDA Comprehensive School, Presentation Brothers College, St. Joseph Convent in St. George's and Grenville, both, J.W. Fletcher Memorial Secondary School, St. David's Catholic Secondary School to be rebuilt, Catholic Secondary School to be rebuilt, St. David's Catholic Secondary School to be rebuilt, St. David's Catholic Secondary School to be rebuilt, the Grenada Christian Academy and the St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School. Work on these schools will begin, some would start in December 2019, while others will begin in 2020.
And folks, we are all very well aware of what took place in 2020. Yeah, you had a disease that had started in 2019 called COVID-19, that by March of 2020, not only school construction, if you were constructing a dog pen, you couldn't do it. Yeah, because by March of 2020, we had our first case, and therefore there was nothing that could have been done. April, basically the country was on lockdown into June, July when things started to ease up a bit, and so. But the entire of 2020, there were things that you had planned you would do that you couldn't do. There was money that you had budgeted for certain areas that you had to shift into other projects because of the fear of what COVID-19 could have done to Grenada. We saw countries that were losing tens of thousands of people. I think people forget that in New York, you had a situation where they had freezer trucks collecting people's body. They had freezer trucks just chucking bodies into it and then going and bury them off on some island or wherever the spot they had that they used to go and bury them during COVID-19 because so many people were dying. So it was not a situation that you just feel that you could have taken the year off. No, you had to, because of the serious situation that we found ourselves in the years 2020 and 2021. So when you heard Dr. Mitchell speak there, he was speaking in the 2020 budget, that would be in 2029, but he was speaking for the 2020 budget there, and the intention to do the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, that you had to rebuild a totally new school because it was found that the best thing to do was to rebuild a new school in a new location. I know that there were certain people that wanted the school to remain where it was, rebuild it there, because that's traditionally where it was, and it close to the church, so in case anything, the children could just walk to the church and all of that. But it was said, no, you have to build the school another location, because if you put it back where it was, you would have ended back with the same problems that you were having. You would have ended up with the same set of problems again. Yeah? So it was better to place the school in another location. So another location was sought, and that location was not only sought, but it was sorted out. Here who really responsible for this thing, together with Mr. Oliver Joseph. Hear them talk. Oh, so it wasn't Deacon Mitchell that settled the issue of the land for the school? Wasn't he that get land and all kind of thing? Them NDC activists would never let us believe that. No. But this is Honorable Emlyn Pierre in Parliament. So that's the person, yeah? It is the incoming Prime Minister who made sure that the people of St. David's can get the St. David's Secondary School. So when all you see her, tell Honorable Emlyn Pierre thanks. No deacon, no school for all you. Is Honorable Emlyn Pierre had to take the headache together with the Honorable Oliver Joseph and the team of the New National Party that had to take the headache to get that school where it is right now. So that was her speaking in 2020, the 4th of December 2020 to be exact. That was her talking about the St. David's Catholic Secondary School. There was an issue where you're moving the school, where would we move it to? And there are various plans for that school, because what you wanted to do is make that school a model for all other secondary schools to be changed into and those to come. So you wanted to make sure that you have a proper technical department in that school. So you often hear the government talking about they're looking to open centers of excellence. And if you're smart enough, you would recognize that they don't have to go to find place to open centers of excellence, but they can use the existing secondary schools as the, you can use the somebody's telling me they did not hear what I just played. Let me see if other people are telling me the same thing. Yeah, let me see. Somebody saying the audio was low there. Let me see, somebody else is saying the same thing. Okay, somebody is saying they can't hear, so let me play it again. Yeah, let me bring it back and let me play it again. Nice, and let me give all your volume, man. All you can get volume. So again, just in case you all had not heard it before, let me see if I could pull this part back up. So people of St. David, when you want to thank somebody for getting the school, you know who to thank is the incoming Prime Minister, not the outgoing one. Yeah? It is the incoming Prime Minister who worked until she get headache, working on making sure, because see, they give the impression that it's them that come in and they that decide, wow, we're going to do a school for St. David. Yeah? When I know the volume of work that was done by the Honorable Emlyn Pear and the former MP, Mr. Oliver Joseph, to ensure that what you see happening now came to fruition. It was they who said, listen, that school, we must have, I think they're supposed to have a garage. Yeah, all right, our brethren telling me hear it loud and clear now. They had to have a garage for auto mechanic and so. If this government take out that out of the plan, that is their business. But it's supposed to have an auto garage so that children who are going to that school would be able to learn auto mechanics and so. That is supposed to be included in the school that's being built in St. David. That was part of the initial plan. A state-of-the-art lab for the students who are doing chemistry and physics and that sort of thing. That was part of the plan. State-of-the-art computer lab for the children who are going to do computer sciences and so, artificial intelligence development, all those kind of things. That was part of the initial plan by the new National Party. If they take it out from there, if it's not in it now, it's them take it out. The present administration. Yeah? Even for hospitality arts, a state-of-the-art kitchen, so that those who want to go and be chef and those kind of things and learn those things, that they have a state-of-the-art facility, but not just for the people who are there as students. So that evening time, when the students are gone and the school is empty, you don't have to go and build a center of excellence in some other part of St. David and say we build a center of excellence. No, you have the same school that can be used to train people in the evening time. So that anytime from after 4 going down there, you can have classes going on that people come, they want to learn computer science, there's a proper lab there. So you have a center of excellence within the school that people can go and learn. This government keeps talking about, oh, we're going to be building centers of excellence. Instead, the new National Party's plan has been, and you've heard it articulated by the political leader of the new National Party over the past few weeks again. Once you're listening, you'd have heard her articulating that no one is against having the centers of excellence, but you can develop the secondary schools into the centers for excellence. So even if it's MacDonald College, that you do your refurbishment, your expansion, and you place in MacDonald College, you have your garage, you have your proper labs, and so you put that onto the MacDonald College so that outside of the students who are going there between 8 to 2 or whatever time they go there, outside of those students, that people in the evening time, into the night time, can be going there. And it can even be an extra revenue stream for the teachers. Because, yeah, they're teaching between what time and what time, but then evening time, they can have another job teaching in those places. You can have people who've retired out of the service that still fit, willing to work and so on, that can come and teach there in the evening time as well. Yeah? And you could have other people, specialists in different areas that come in from time to time and do classes in relation to specific aspects of whatever area it is that they're doing. So the new National Party has a plan that is executable, because in 2022, we're hearing about centers of excellence from NDC. They talk about it on the campaign, then they come and they talk about it. We keep hearing about centers of excellence. None in their bill. None. Yeah? You could easily look at the St. John's Christian Academy and you could say, okay, we are going to ensure that there's a fishing boat thing for building fishing boats or teaching fishing and marine technology and so on at that facility. You could easily say that, because fishing is a big thing for that community. Even the St. Mark's Secondary, you could decide that you're doing it there as well. In Carriacou at Bishop's College or Hillsborough Secondary, you can do the same thing. So you don't have to go and build a separate facility. But we know all you want to give all your contractor partners money. Because if all you're getting them at 10,000, we know all you have to get 1,000. Yeah, we know it's at 10% all let us look for. So let us tell them charge appropriately. So all you could get a little 10%. We know. So all you want to build something else, rather than go the sensible route that is going to save taxpayers, but at the same point in time is going to provide more coverage, that you can reach more people spending less money. But they're still on, we go in and build centers for excellence, we go in and build centers for excellence. That's not the only time Honorable Emlyn Pierre talk about this. Somebody asked the question this morning and I decided to go and find the information regarding the St. David's Catholic Secondary School. Because I see some people, oh, NNP never do that and NNP never had no plan. Hush all your mouth now.
Mr. Speaker, we also have the Disaster Vulnerability Project. Major work done there as well. Mr. Speaker, over $13 million so far has been spent, and we will spend more before the end of the year to complete the work on 39 additional schools throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Under this project, Mr. Speaker, $1 million was spent on furniture. Of course, we still need more furniture in our schools, but major dent in supplying the needs throughout our schools. Mr. Speaker, the GEEP project, between 60 and 80% completion. We have Presentation Brothers College, Grenada Seventh-day Adventist Comprehensive, and Bishop's College. Mr. Speaker, we had had some serious challenges with Bishop's College. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to commend and recognize the MP and all stakeholders on the ground for their support. Where we have come so far, Mr. Speaker, another miracle, I actually call it. Mr. Speaker, this government has been working aggressively. But, Mr. Speaker, I know the MP for St. Andrews Northeast is going to ask what's happening with the Grenada Christian Academy. And persons are going to ask St. Andrews Anglican Primary School. Mr. Speaker, this government has committed. Those two schools are moving to a new location, including St. David's Catholic Secondary. New schools, new location, and I can say to you, St. Andrews Anglican, as a matter of fact, the person...
So Honorable Emlyn Pierre, it wasn't Deacon Mitchell decide that? It wasn't the NDC and them? Oh, so, okay, was you and your government decide that? Okay, all right, okay.
Persons from Trinidad was here about 2 weeks ago testing the soil, finalizing everything, because both St. Andrew Anglican and Grenada Christian Academy are now in the tendering stage. Final stages, Mr. Speaker, before we move to construction. In the case of St. Andrews Anglican, let me say this, we will have to move the students and teachers from the current location because the stakeholders, parents, teachers, students, they all said that they prefer to have the school built on the current location. Mr. Speaker, we continue to work aggressively to improve infrastructure in our schools.
Yeah, just so that they could understand, in case they make the statement again, kindly refer them to tonight's program. Yeah? Because again, when we say that we're still looking to see a project that the NDC do, we know what we're saying, We know what we're saying and we could present receipts like I've just done. We can present receipts for what we're saying. When we say we want to know what it is that the NDC has actually come up with. Which new project have they come up with? They've lost projects. The west coast of the island right now, the road should have been completed or nearing completion. You all ain't supposed to be hitting no pothole going up on the west coast right now. That project should have been completed by now. You had Tweedledee and Tweedledum go over in Barbados, lost the project. And then, remember, when the new National Party left the office in June of 2022, Grenada had the project. Grenada had the funding. Grenada had the blessings of the UK government for that project. It was spoken about in the election campaign. There were people that visited Grenada regarding that project from the UK. Things were just opening back out. The NDC government came in. I don't know if they go and tell the people they want to change aspects of the program. We don't know what they went and tell the people. One of these days when I go to England, I go ask them because I know who they talk to. So one of these days when I go to, I ain't go talk to them on the phone. When I go to England, I will talk to them. Me know what they go and tell these people. They come back and say Grenada lose the project and blaming NNP. How you could blame NNP? You came into office and meet the project day. You go and talk your stupidness to the people and lose the project. It reminds me of the period of the last NDC when it was said there was no signed document and there was no agreement for the rebuilding of the athletic stadium. You tell the Chinese that, the Chinese look at it and they say, wait now. So we had promised to spend $2 million and rebuild a stadium for them. And the government of Grenada is out there saying that they have no signed agreement for it. And I think if they come to us and they're playing like they don't know, well, we go tell them we don't know too. That's saving us money, you know. We have an agreement to them say that we're going to rebuild the two stadia. That we're going to rebuild them. They coming to us and telling us if we know about that and all kind of thing. And they out there making statements. So the Chinese, they ain't build nothing. You tell them they don't build. They had houses to build for Grenada. You tell them don't build the houses, give us the money. The new National Party had to come back in 2013. Let me remind you that the new National Party had to come back in office in 2013 and get back those two projects. The new National Party, the last set of houses that were built, that this government callously ensured that the poor and vulnerable people of Grenada, whom the houses were built for, they said the houses were built too good for poor people. They didn't want to see you uplift your standard of living. So they said those houses were too good for these people. We only want people like us in those houses. We only want people like us in those places. So they made sure that they made the houses unattainable for those people of the lower income bracket. They make sure on that. Those same houses, the last NDC had given them up. The last NDC had said they needed some money. They run broke. Because remember, they was selling all kind of place and all they didn't own, they was selling it like some kind of crack addict. Selling things that they don't own. Until they sell building that they did not own. They had to get the building when NNP come back, you have to get the building and give back to the proper people, all kind of thing. Yeah? They run broke. They couldn't pay salaries on time or at all in some instances. New National Party came to office and met so much payments that had to be made by government over 160 days, 190 days going. That you had to try and clear up all those over 100 days. You had to try and clear those out. Then you had to try and clear out the over 60. And then those over 30 were the last set that you had to get to. And Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell with his team, including the present political leader of the New National Party, including Brother Gregory Bowen, Brother Oliver Joseph, Brother Nicholas Steele, yeah, the late Brother Elvin G. Nimrod, Honorable Clarice Modest, yeah, at that time was Honorable Roland Bola. This team of people, Honorable Anthony Boson, yeah, that whole team that came in And I know I leave out some names, but don't worry, we love you all still. Honorable Yolan Bain, good night to you. Good night to you, my dear. Yeah, Alexandra Otway, I know you just be listening, my dear. Good night to you, my love. Yeah, that's my girl. All you can't get between me and Alex. Long before politics. That lady's a radical. I like her. Yeah. If I give you a story about Alex already. Alex come barefoot in my office at time when I was in the Ministry of Youth, not as a minister, As the public relation officer, I see this lady just bend the corner, barefoot, dragging about 4 fellas behind her. And she said, Mister, what's your name? I tell her her name. She said, listen, I want you to find something for these 4 young fellas to do. I find a person and I seen them on the block too much. Alex? I can give you some stories on Alex. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number. But the new National Party team that came in there had to aggressively go behind. I can imagine what the situation is now. I can just imagine what the situation you're going to meet when you get in there is now. Yeah? Because you're hearing people talking. You're hearing different institutions cannot get goods and services because the vendors have remained unpaid for so long that they just decide to put a stop to it. Listen, we can't do anymore. It's going to crash our business if we do anymore. Yeah? You can't not be paying us and just expect us to continue providing a service. So there are so many businesses that have been down that road that decide they can't go further. These are the situations that the new National Party found when they got in. And they effectively dealt with them. One set of people owed farmers, a pile of farmers that were owed $14,000, yet 20-something $1,000 there. And then you have some that you might find is small because they say, okay, a 5,000 or 7,000. That might sound small to you, but to the farmer who has done all the work and put all of that into it, there's a lot of money. Other people that were supplying goods and services to the government of Grenada, the last NDC administration. The situation was terrible. You didn't hear the NNP cry and bawl about it. We came in and we did the work. Dr. Mitchell swearing in 2013. When Dr. Mitchell was finished being sworn in at the Grenada Trade Center, any of you that were there and can remember, what's the first thing he did? You see him walk to the back of the Grenada Trade Center with Mr. Timothy Antoine, who is now the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Mr. Dwight Venner, who was at that time the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, and other technocrats within the Ministry of Finance. I think Brother Gregory Bowen was in on that meeting too. I can't remember if Brother Oliver Joseph was in on that meeting and others. They went to the back there because public servants had to be paid in just a week or two. They had to be paid. And you had to find out what's the fiscal situation of the country. So immediately, he got to work. He didn't say, okay, let me go and drink a glass of champagne and thing and go and chat and line with people and thing. He was sworn in as Prime Minister and went straight to the back, straight to work. Because he understood the gravity of the situation which Grenada faced then. And I dare say that we are facing an even worse situation now. Economically, we continue to see the cost of goods go up. Now it's nobody month, it's nobody week, it's by the day. We're seeing the cost of goods just keep increasing here in Grenada. Yeah, you give a 2 VAT-free days, bravo. The only reason they run and get a VAT-free day is because they had a feeling that the new National Party, as it is going around with its series of meetings, they believed that the new National Party was about to announce VAT-free days as part of their campaign promise. That on coming into office, they're going to do that because they started hearing the Honorable Emlyn Pierce saying that within 90 days of coming into office, that the NNP would be able to get the cost of living handled, get it down a bit. Look at the basket of goods that you have VAT-free and so on. Take a serious look at that and see what could be added to it. Also look at other measures that can be taken regarding the electricity bill and all that. And she has been saying that for several months now. And now that she has started laying out a plan of what can be done in short order by NNP administration, they run and do 2 VAT-free days. I hear, what is it, 28 and 29 August? What is it, 28 and 29 August? Because I think they say it had to be a Friday and Friday and a Saturday. Right, so that's the 28th and 29th of August, I think, are the days that have been announced as the VAT-free day. To the public servants, I hope they pay all you in time. Yeah, I hope they pay all you in time. I heard electronics mentioned, so I wonder, courts, that mean all you will. But if that is for courts, how is that affecting the fellas who just drive around with them Noah and them and sell the fridge and TV and them kind of thing? People go, I don't know. We go see how it work out. Yeah, we go see how it work out. People getting a relief, everybody's glad for it. Nobody's upset about it. We're just being realistic about what it really is. Because if on the 22nd you have no food in your house, are you going to wait until the 28th to buy? If today you have no food in your house, you're going and sit down and say waiting until the 28th, the 29th to buy? Yeah, because you'll get the saltfish not at $19, but you'll get it at a look at 15% off. Are we going to say that people, what other measures can be taken? There is a problem that exists right through the month, not just on 2 days. It exists right through the month. So what is going to be done? You put a new levy on water. You put an additional tax on the water. You didn't say let us take the tax off the water so that people who get in cut off. You could get cut off with electricity, you could light a Masanto and you're okay. Once you do have children to knock it down and burn your place down, you could do that. Yeah? Or you could use a solar light for a period of time and you could fight it out. You could do without your internet and your phone and you could do without them thing for a period of time. Yeah, you could survive. You can't survive without water. And it have people whose water has been cut off and are struggling to put it back. Yeah? In fact, if it didn't have industrial action at NOASA, probably a lot more people may have been cut off. I don't know if they have industrial action still, but when they had, a lot more people might have been cut off. Yeah? So we have to look at those and the reality of what exists in Grenada right now. Folks, 440-73, I find I'm talking now. 440-7377. That's the number for you all to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. As I mentioned, tonight's program is the final program until Carnival Wednesday. The Wednesday after Carnival is when I'll be back. Whoa. No, don't expect to see me in no fete. Don't expect to see me in no party. Don't expect to see me in no juve or not. Nah. Nah.
In the vibe was right. Laughing with friends under the street.
Good. Yeah.
I knew death was in sight. Drill out shots and mash up the scenes. People running with Christ.
But there are things that I have to get done during that period of time. Nice.
Another mother cry.
And folks, remember, yes, we do need your donations. Remember the donations. Remember the donations. And you can go to pay.gotofed.com/484. You can go there and make your donation, whether it's $10, $20, $40, $50, whatever it is you can donate. We need your donation. You can go there. You can also go to PayPal, Michelle and Scott 473. You can go there as well. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Good night. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead.
Right?
Yes, for the time being. For the time being, you go right ahead.
Let me ask, I understand the incident that occurred, the accident that occurred in Guyana, with that the captain or whatever. He gets 72 years, 72 counts of something, murder.
Yes, they placed 72 counts of murder on him and his crew.
Oh Lord! Well, these people are them. If they're jailed, then they ain't coming out of jail. They go there.
Well, they're already in jail.
Oh, I heard it. I saw it on YouTube. Yes.
They have done that.
Sad, it's sad. It's real sad.
It's sad all around.
Yeah, it's sad all around.
All around. All around. Yeah.
I was listening something today concerning. Let me forget that, because that coming with that. We ain't bothering with that. We bother with our business. We are studying them business. Let us fight the battle.
Yes,
so,
yes.
We go talk next time.
I think I know he was going to talk about, and I said he was going to talk about brother Cornwall.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. I ain't have a problem with that. Go ahead. I'm telling you, go ahead. I don't have a problem with that. Go ahead.
But tell her this is I wonder if it's really, if they're getting insane or something.
Well, I'll talk about it for you a little bit.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
These people and them know that they're either getting sick, they're mad, they're crazy, or soon they'll be in crazy house or something. Because they real stupidness, you know. Let's leave that with it. We have a more important thing to discuss. Alright?
Alright, my dear. No problem.
You have a great week, rest, and rest yourself good.
I will sleep early for that whole time.
Right,
Take what I tell you. That's one thing I go do.
Take a little swim, man. Don't go far.
No.
You know.
I can't swim. I ain't going far at all.
That's right.
I'm staying
all
close.
Right, darling. Have a great night.
All right, my dear. Thank you.
Bye-bye, love.
All right.
All right.
I staying with me toe where foot could reach. I don't go in. I didn't even want to go further. I ain't going with no water reaching me by my shoulder and my neck. Now staying where I could reach. Yeah? That is what we know. We just stay where we could reach. We staying close by. If we had to dog paddle, if we had to take, we staying close where we know. Yeah? Yeah, that's what we just try to do. Nice, we ain't going far all day. Me and no fish, I have no reason to be out there. Right? I staying where I could, we are safe. Yeah, by the time you see 9 o'clock, I go be sleeping. I tell you all of that. I'm taking the rest when I could get it. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on the inside. You can call us on WhatsApp. You can call us direct. And the caller did mention, two things. One, she did mention the situation in Guyana and the fact that the captain has been charged. Yes. I'm no lawyer, but I do believe that they erred in the specific charge that was placed. He had to be charged with something, but I think they charged him with the wrong thing. But anyway, that could always be amended as far as I know. They could possibly be amended later on. But that is for the Guyanese authorities to handle. We had to make sure nothing happened here because we don't want to have to charge nobody with nothing. Yeah? And we have some excellent captains, you know, between Grenada and Carriacou. And so when I tell you we have some excellent captains, we have some excellent people. But nobody that has ever been born exists without making a mistake. And sometimes we could help them to not make the mistake. So let us help them to not make the mistake. Yeah, as good as they are, they could be the best in the world. Let us help them to not make the mistake. And you have people, you have like Bethel. Yeah, you have Bethel and them that could help. You understand, could provide training and could provide guidance. And so, world class, that could provide those. Go upstairs now, in Carriacou, you go find them. Could provide assistance in situations like this. Yeah? So you could always contact them. You go put up the thing in a timing and they could contact them. If they don't know how to contact them, we go show them. Yeah, how to contact them. Yeah, let me also say a special good night to the other Mr. Bethel. Mr. Bethel out there in Calivini. Yeah, let me say a special good night to you, sir. Hope that you're having a wonderful night tonight, you and the loved ones. Yeah? Nice. 440-7377. And the caller also mentioned the situation in St. Patrick East with the National Democratic Congress. Let me say this. Yes, I say mind we business, but they put this one in we face. So what I say is they put this one in we face. Just the other day, they had their rally. They bring up their former candidate for St. Mark. They put on the man in the African cloth to the fancy shirt, so up, pretty and thing. They take the man, they bring him up on the stage, they mention him, Brother Quince Britton, they bring him up on stage and all kind of thing. They had the man blowing horn, but he didn't realize he was about to get a horn. So all the horn he blow, he didn't realize he was going and get a horn right after he finished blow horn. So they come and they give him a blowout. After you bring the man up, telling him he's part of the team, basically giving him the impression that yes, he is still part of the team to go forward. And then you come and you give the man one blowout. How are you supposed to trust people like that? How are you supposed to trust people that treat people like that with no emotional intelligence? No serious emotional acumen to say, okay, we can't treat this person like that. But now we also understand why Brother Cornwall was missing. Isn't it? Use an excuse and say he was out of the island, but now we understand. And yeah, he was probably out of the island, but now we understand why he was missing. He probably smelled the rat. Yeah, that's why he needed to call A1 Pest Control. They could have deal with that for him. And laser, they could have deal with that for him. But he probably smelled the rat. That is why he wasn't in the meeting. But again, it says a lot. This man is one of the most senior people within your cabinet. One of the most senior people within your cabinet has just been displaced. I mean, I'm seeing some political moves taking place around the Caribbean. I'm seeing Kitts, for instance, and seeing some interesting stories taking place there and one or two other countries. And I'm telling you, that particular one, hey, Papa, you never call on the line.
They know they have to watch their back because they know it's a set of traitors there among all of them is traitors. So they have to watch their own back. If they don't watch their back, they will get lost in the front and in the back.
They have to watch the back, the front, everything.
Everything. Because they know, they put in the cat, the cat eating the cheese. When they're done, they're looking for the cheese. The cat don't eat it already. So let me what I didn't want to talk about them because they're useless, they're wasteless, they're timeless, they're running out. Bye-bye.
All right, my dear. Well, don't bother with them then. But what I'm telling you is that it says to us the kind of organization that the National Democratic Congress is. It says a lot to us about them as an organization. And I'm seeing some of their vile mouthpieces. Yes, the vile mouthpieces. Nasty people. Yes, because the kind of things that they say about people. Nasty. Now some people must take all it to court. But then when they're trying to take some all it to court, all it does run. And all it does hide and duck. All it does be dipping away from the bailiff. I doesn't hide from no bailiff, and when they come, they come. I doesn't hide from none of them. But all it dipping and hide, all it ducking and hide from them bailiff. When they come in. Yeah? I saying bailiff. It's not bailiff, it's bailiff. But anyway, all you know what I'm saying. We're talking like we. Bailiff. Not the thing that you does boil and make bailiff from and thing, no. Bailiff. Yeah. Anyhow, they have been there saying all sorts of, oh gosh, how the party could do that, how they could get rid of them, and all you're getting frightened now? All you now realize the kind of organization all you're dealing with? You all just know? All you didn't realize that when they get rid of Laco? Laco was the main prayer warrior. The man used to pray until he sweat. When Laco finished pray, during the NDC election campaign, when Laco finished pray, the man used to have to go and sit down and had to bring water for him, you know. The man used to be drained, bringing down the Holy Spirit. That is the man that they kick out of the cabinet. That is the man that they get 2 police officers to walk him out the building. Because he stood on principle. In other words, to associate, you cannot be a principled person. To associate, you cannot be a person that stands up on principle. You cannot be a person that sees corruption as Jonathan Lacrette saw in National Lottery Authority, spoke about and paid the price for it. And then quietly, they come afterwards and they get the chairman of the board to resign. But you have never heard them publicly come and say to Jonathan Lacrette, we're sorry. You have never heard them come to Jonathan Lacrette and say, you were right, and we apologize for what we have done and the situation. We put not just you, but your family in as well. They've never come and apologized to the man. They have never come and tell him sorry. But the same people that he was warning them about, the same chairman that he had fired, you had to come back and you hire back one time that he was telling the chairman you had to go. And then you had the manager of the National Lottery Authority in the NDC t-shirt jumping up, hey, hey, hey. Well, I never see that before. I never see the man. All you ever see a manager of the National Lottery Authority under the NNP in a NNP t-shirt out in NNP functions jumping up, hip, 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 liming in their special VIP area that they were throwing out other people from. Yeah, they had special VIP area. I told you when the Prime Minister made the statement that they don't know who is the real NDC, it means who are his friends, who are his upper class honchos, brown nosers and sycophants. All you feel, listen, all these low-level brown nosers, all you can't go in the NDC VIP when they have the function. All you have to stay outside. All you can't go there and drink vodka. All you have to stay outside and go and buy a beer. All you have to hope it has somebody selling a coconut water. All you can't go in the VIP. Because all you is not the real NDC as far as he sees. That is why they must separate themselves from the rest of you. So they have their special VIP. And not to say that they have their candidates there for protection. You know, security issues, you're having these things, you have government ministers. So you have a section and you say, well, only the government ministers and certain other selected people can enter or leave that particular area. No, not like that, you know. Was an area for the honchos. All who fly in from Brooklyn. All who fly in from Canada and all kind of thing. They come for rally. Them who does give them a little check for 10 grand and say, a small thing, man. When you need a 20, check me. Them is the ones that they take and they put in the VIP. But you, who on the bus cussing everybody for NDC, you can't go in the VIP because they don't consider you to be the real NDC. If they had considered you, they would not be having specialized areas for specialized people. You would have been able to go anyway. I hear one of them get so vexed because she was escorted out. She thought she was one of the real NDC. All over the internet, back and forth with people on different issues, defending the NDC. And when came time for them to defend you, what they do? They make security put you out. That is what they do. The people are showing you who they are. Don't deny them. They're showing you who and what they are. They're showing you the kind of people they are. They're showing you how they think of people or how they don't think of people. They're showing you their belief. They look at houses, they say that's too good for poor people. That's too good for people of a lower income. We ain't putting them inside there. We go, I'm my partner that I went to university with, and I'm a friend that working in this institution for a little 10 grand, 15 grand a month. Yeah, little them go call that. 10 grand, 15 grand a month. I go put them inside there. We ain't putting none of these low class people inside there because that is what they consider you. And you see a set of people cheering when the man talking about the real NDC. The reason the NNP getting and some of us ain't getting, not all of us, you know, some of you ain't getting is because we don't know who the real NDC, not who the NDC are, you know, who the real NDC are. And that is why some of you who supported the New National Party before and you went behind the NDC the last time and you got taken up in the euphoria of newness. Because there was a lot of that euphoria of newness. It's like a child on Christmas morning, you get a toy, you ain't letting it go. I know that feeling yours. You ain't letting it go, you want to play with it right through. You like the smell, you like the song. You're hoping daddy remember to buy the batteries. You're like that on a Christmas morning. So you got caught up in the euphoria of newness because nobody knew the gentleman. I knew him, but there were few people that knew the gentleman. So you got caught up in it. They don't consider you to be no real NDC. You could put on as much t-shirt, wristband, cap, carry flag, jump bus, cuss people on the internet. They don't consider you to be no real NDC. In their mind, there's a NNP. We don't know where she voted. Are you studying them? When they're ready to go in right back in NNP. I eating and drink all I could get? No. Because when them so turn on you and they gone their way, I always in NDC. That is the attitude of these people. You go in and vote for them again? You going to go and make the same error, because you can plainly see it was an error that you made the last time around. You go in and make the same error again now when the elections are called? Would you take your good self, get up from your bed, say your prayers to the Almighty, go and organize yourself and bathe and eat and all this thing and get yourself nice and ready, leave your home and go and vote to put these people in office for another 5 years, to continue to treat you as though you are not the real NDC? Some of you been in NDC longer than all of them in cabinet put together. You all have been in the NDC since it created, and they're treating you like a dog. They're treating you like nobody. You still going to get up and say you're going to give them a 5 more years, or you're going to give them a reality check next election? I ain't saying don't go and vote. Come and vote NNP. You might see how refreshing that does feel. How it does feel energized when you get up and you go and you vote for the NNP. And by the time you're here 8, 9 o'clock, you realize NNP win. You will see that wonderful feeling that has overcome you, because you know you've put competent people in charge of the affairs of this country. So that when people losing visa left and right, you could go back and get visas restored. When people losing projects for the whole West Coast, you could go and get the project for the West Coast back and still get one to do the East Coast as well, and to do a bridge between Carriacou and Petit Martinique. That part is a joke, eh? But you could get people to be able to do it. Yeah? You will get competent, capable people who are able to do what is necessary. And I think this will be our final call for tonight. Let's go to the phone line once more. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon, and how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm quite fine, my brother. You go right ahead. You're live.
Right, thank you. And I must say good night to all the listeners. On that NDC rally, when I saw the ministers drinking wine on the stage, I would have thought that they might have had a little, a tent with some free drinks for the supporters. But when I inquired, there was no. It's like, like the puppies are down there, and they have this toasting with wine and making all the nonsense, showing definitely that there is a classism system that lies within the NDC. So, Mr. Scott, keep up the good work. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. All right. Yes, indeed, folks. No, they don't see you as the same level as them. Listen, the moment they see you put on a green t-shirt or you're a supporter of the NNP, they believe that you're poor, they believe that you're dunce, they believe that you're stupid. And they come out and they're telling you that. Because they're trying to shame you into voting for them. They're trying to embarrass you into voting for them. That's what they're trying to do, you know. They call you all sorts of degrading names. If they know you have been part of a new National Party program, they try to degrade you as much as possible. But ask them, what programs have they put in place? I've been meeting many young men who left school in 2024, 2025, 2026, this year, who left school in 2023, 2022, and you ask them, well, why are you home? Because the only thing they're going to do, they could go and do a little bit of construction. But not everybody wants to do construction. Only if they have a linkology. You have some family member that in some business or so, and they could give you a little Pauline. Other than that, they're home. Where the new National Party had the Imani. As much as they could run them out on Imani as much as they want. But they cannot do anything better than the new National Party has done. And 4 years has proven that to you. Where's the program for the young people that leave in school so that they could get some first-hand training? Where's the NDC program? How much young people leave school last year and get into it? Let them present the numbers of how much young people got into it in 2022, 23, 24, 25, and 26. Well, you can leave 26 still because it ain't done. 25 done. Show us how much. And let me match your numbers up against the New National Party because I know all you had 0. But what did they matter to do? They made sure though that some of the members of parliament, children, get big work in government ministries, permanent jobs in government ministries and with private companies in very high capacities. Private companies that have to work along with the government of Grenada. They made sure that their children get that. They made sure that their brother, sister, family members and so get big contracts at 70,000 day or 80,000 day that don't have to go to procurement because it is under $100,000. So they make sure that their family members get those contracts. Where yours get? Where yours get? Many of them in the NDC will admit that under the New National Party, regardless of their political affiliation, if they are honest, a lot of them like to lie, they would admit that, yes, I used to get too. Yes, I used to get. They know I don't support, but I used to get. Now, the same people watching NNP, don't get them none. MNP, I tell them, don't get them none. That is the attitude. These people see themselves as better than everybody else. That is why they think they can jump plane in first class and go all over the world and come back and not have to report to you where they went and what they do and what they got for the Grenadian people. They don't believe you are at the level that they should be reporting to you. Who is you? That is why you could have government ministers cussing members of the Royal Grenada Police Force and coming back after and boast that they cuss members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. No matter the situation, no matter the circumstance, no matter the psychological or even physical pressure, remember yourself. Remember yourself. No member of the Royal Grenada Police Force could come and say, people like me ever disrespect them. I've been through several situations. None could come and say, Sheldon Scott cuss us and he disrespect us and all. None. Regardless of the situation, regardless of the position that you hold, you have to have respect. People looking at you, you come out and you boast. Policemen, all you go in and vote for him to be able to say, this time I box down one of them. Because if he cuss you all you, the next move is to box down one of all you know. Because when you hear him talking about it and you hear the vexation and the anger, he doesn't even know how to cope with anger. Even if he had a valid case, he does not know how to cope. The member of parliament for Carriacou, Mr. Pinky, are talking about. He does not know how to cope with anger. He doesn't know how to cope with his emotions. He has not mentally developed to that stage in life yet. He's still puerile in his thoughts. So the next time, officers, it ain't going to be cuss all. You go box down one all you in Carriacou. Might even do it in Grenada. One all you might go and tell him something and he will give all you a right or a left. Send all you by the dentist. Go ahead and play and vote and put him back. And see if it's not a box down all you will get this time. Because he go say, I cuss one and they still put me back. So this time he go box down one all you. I know some officers that ain't taking that box down. They go in kind of different. But all you that making him feel that is okay. Whether MP or not, the man should have been arrested on the spot. MP or not, he should have been arrested on the spot. Work it out afterwards. And if they try to put you out of the police force for that, you could have taken them to court. You might even get an additional rank when you finish with them in the court. But this is the kind of people that you're dealing with. They see you as nobody. So whether you are a police or you're a doctor, whether you're a school child or elderly, whether you're a bus driver or a market vendor or a fish vendor, they see you as nobody. But the time is coming for you to teach them just who you are. That time is coming and it's coming soon. Check the list. Make sure you name the. Well, everybody else jumping up here and bathing in old oil. You check the voters list. Because if you think that they ain't checking the voters list and they ain't campaigning, all today they're campaigning heavy, you know. They out there. They out there. So don't think it's carnival time and they done and they step aside and they ain't doing this and they ain't doing that. They're doing it. They're doing it because they know the time frame they're working with to call elections. That's why they come and they kick out Brother Cornwall. And Cornwall is probably the most brilliant man that they have in the cabinet. I'll say it again for those who didn't hear me. I might have my issues with the individual, but he is the brightest individual that they have in the whole cabinet. He's not a fool. I could say what I want about Dennis Cornwall. I could say how he look. I could say that he wrong for having a CBI company while he's the Minister of Finance. I could say all of that, and that is a fact. But one thing I will not call the man is stupid. I don't believe he's a fool. I believe he's the most intelligent individual that sits in that cabinet. But they don't want smart people around them, Brother Cornwall. You should understand that from day one. They don't want smart people around them. Like a pig in the rain, they want to wallow in the mud. Yeah? That's what they want to do. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here for you. We will be back on the Wednesday after Carnival. Let me just see exactly what date that is. So we'll be back on the 12th of August. We will be back, God's willing. Can be listening. God's willing, we'll be back on the 12th of August with Talking Points for you. I'm going to be speaking about all the things that happened in the 2 weeks here. We could be talking about all of that. So we'll be back on that day. Folks, do enjoy the rest of your night tonight, the rest of your week, and be safe for the carnival. Please be safe for the carnival. I want to come back here and have to be sending condolences to this family or that family. And while I'm at it, before I forget, let me send condolences to my good brother Mitchie. Yeah, that is Mitchie. All you know, Mitchie on WeFM, he lost his dad last night, and we do send our condolences to him and the entire home circle. Mitchie boy, you know how it go, but Mitchie's my real boy from years. That's go back real years. Yeah, Mitchie's my real soul. That is a soul, yeah. Yeah, so Mitchie, we send Talking Points condolences to you and your entire family, all right? And you'll keep us updated with arrangements and so on. We know it's something that all of us have to face from time to time. Death is not something any of us could avoid. We have to face it from time to time. And we do send our condolences to you and your family. So folks, in everything you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to you. We want to be speaking with you. We definitely do not want to be speaking about you. Yeah? Enjoy the rest of your week. The rest of the month, just tomorrow. Not your long weekend, but your holiday weekend, and the week next week and the following week as well, as we head on out. Love you all. See you all soon.
Let me go. Oh, yo, yo. Yeah. Politics. You divide Grenada and that's no kicks. I don't like it. Politics. Now so many things I will have to fix. So I go fix up them old police station to hold those who murder and rape. Because I fed up reading the media about an ex-prisoner escape. And I go fix up all those high prices that most Grenadians can't afford. Instead of demolishing those poor vendors put along the side of the road and keep them balling with them out close. Oh God, baby, Jesus is of the blows. Grenadians balling with them out close. The higher the monkey climb is more we expose. My people balling with them out close. Oh God, and this is of the blues. My people balling with them out close. Mr. PM, please open up some doors. Why the hell food prices gone up so fast? Transformation in we mass. The people balling anyway you pass. Transformation in we mass. You only looking out for the upper class. Transformation in we mass. You don't care if the poor ones are to eat grass. Transformation in we mass. Hey. turn me enemy. I just say yes, I love the progress. 6 Senses Hotel making us suggest. But then I remember John Thomas was the one who led the protest. But now we robbing up the same white boys like a bed bug in the night. But just remember the local workers and make sure that you treat them right. Don't leave them balling with them out close. Oh God, baby, Jesus is up the blows. Grenadians balling with them out close. They say when you pour is when you expose. My people balling with them out close. Get it? Oh God, baby, Jesus is up the blows. Grenadians balling with them out close. Be careful with the tons when you're picking rows. Why the hell you remove the cap from the gas? Transformation in we mass. No what in me tanky can't even last. Transformation in we mass. But you driving wrong in dark tinted glass. Transformation in we mass. When I start to talk you say in a fast. Transformation in we mass. Hey. Politics, politics. You say hush me mouth cause old talk is cheap. I still talking politics, politics. I would never take me death like a sheep. Was up in Granville, Senator came right up to me ears like he afraid to talk. He said the little work that he get in Cultural Foundation, they take it back. And how we wish he could have take back his vote. Cause that is one thing he regret. Because apart from all those gallant fete, yes, he they do nothing yet. Grenadians balling with them out close. Oh God, baby, Jesus is up the blows. Your supporters balling with them out close. But the higher the monkey climb is more he expose. My people balling with them out close. Oh God, and this is up the blows. Grenadians balling with them out close. What we going through only heaven knows. Why you riding wrong on such a high horse? Transformation in we mass. And the big rentals don't care what it costs. Transformation in we mass. If you love this song, well raise up your glass. Transformation in we mass. If you don't like this one, it's there you come last. Transformation